everybody and welcome. We've got a full house of cheering fans, including Earl B., the home team's biggest fan. First game this year, pretzels, popcorn, beer. First round draft choice, Monday night is here. Sing the Stars and Stripes, announce the play-by-play. Offense, defense, deep pass, the wave.
They try to stop him with the man-to-man. Nickel dime, 7 backs with plan. Coin toss, timeout, a must-win game. The snap, the kick, the Hall of Fame. Earl B, he's our man. Earl B, the home team's biggest fan. Earl B, yeah, he is, yeah.
Once again to George Daniels Stadium. Believe it or not, it's week 4 already of high school football, 1999. Welcome, I'm Ron Bacalar, along with my partner John Nesbitt, our cameraman, producer, and director Bob Quinlan, and we're about ready to bring you the play-by-play action of tonight's ball game with the Lorain Southview Saints playing host to the Toledo Scott Bulldogs. And John, you know, we kind of anticipated when we did that first game with Southview, looking forward to what they had done last season, winning their first 3, going to the Glass City, and losing to Toledo Scott. And kind of anticipating, and I'm sure Coach Kleiner was anticipating the same too, of winning the first 3, coming here tonight and doing that sweet revenge and going on into the mid part of the season with a 4-0 record. But such is not the case with Southview losing to Warrensville Heights last week. We've got a fine, outstanding ball club here in Toledo Scott, as we do with Southview. So how do you see these two teams sizing up tonight here in Lorain?
Well, we've just kind of looked at the roster, and we know that Toledo Scott's going to run a 4-4, and they're going to run a full house backfield. Other than that, we really can't comment on Toledo Scott, except for last year. As you say, Southview went up there looking to start 4-0, and they were beaten. I sensed that Southview thought also, the players thought that they would be at this point trying to shoot for a 4-0 record. But I think what happened is when you have some success like they did in the first 2 ball games, maybe they lost a little bit of focus, thought they were going to go to Warrensville, show up and just win the football game by being there. And so I think this game is important for Southview in the sense that with all the talent that they seem to possess, I think they've got to refocus it and rededicate it. And I think if they do that, the Southview coaching staff will be very happy with the results.
I know speaking to Coach Kleiner earlier today indicated that after the loss to Warrensville, and we really could give credit to a young man by the name of Dwayne Gibson, who happened to score 5 touchdowns and ran for over 284 yards rushing. And at one point in time, prior to this Gibson young man taking over, Southview was leading with about 3.5 minutes in the first half by a score of 7-6. But then it all fell apart in the closing moments of the first half and second half. Coach Kleiner said his team has pretty much gotten over that. They're looking forward to tonight, but he still hasn't been able to get over that loss to Warrensville. Right now, Southview is 2-1, looking to go 3-1, while Toledo Scott is 1-2, looking to even it up at 2-2. So we should have quite a ball game, and we look forward to the start of that ball game. But first, this time out for Impressions.
Your one-stop place for something really special is Impressions, corner of Oberlin Avenue and Tower Boulevard. T-shirts and sweatshirts personally designed to your specific needs. Anything from bears, trains to zebras, and specially designed hats as well. And don't forget Impressions, your one-stop spot for school jackets. See Dave, the designer expert at Impressions, Oberlin Avenue at Tower Boulevard, right here in Lorain.
All right, back here at George Daniels Stadium, we're just about ready to get this ball game underway. The Toledo Scott Bulldogs won the toss of the coin. They did elect, however, to kick off. They will defend the north goal, while the Southview Saints will receive and defend the south goal. Kicking off for the Bulldogs, Eric Crawford. And the ball in the air, the game underway. And it's taken by Southview's Preston Beard. Beard gets across the midfield stripe and into Bulldog territory before being tackled by the kickoff person, Eric Crawford. Nice return.
Well, we've been consistent in mentioning this time and time again on kickoff teams and kickoff return teams. When Preston Beard fielded that short kickoff, there was nobody in the middle. The Toledo Scott middle lost their lanes. Result is Southview starts on Toledo Scott's side of the line.
1st and 10 for the Southview Saints. The ball on the Bulldogs' 48-yard line. And the give to Preston Beard. Checking the offensive lineup for the Southview Saints. The quarterback is Robert Strausser. The halfback is Preston Beard. The tailback, Jeremiah Martinez. And the wingback is Brandon Neely. This time the ball given to Martinez gets up to the 45 before being tackled by Rockney Adams.
On this play, Southview showed something that we have not seen in the previous games, and it looks like there's a holding penalty that's been declined. They had a nasty slot, and they did a toss sweep off of that, and Rockney Adams came up and did a nice job. I'll explain nasty slot in a minute.
3rd down and a long 7 or short 8. Strausser looking to pass, throws up the middle. The intended receiver, Brandon Neely, broken up in there by the Bulldogs' Charles Wiley. Incomplete pass brings a 4th and a long 7.
Can you tell me why that play was blowing dead while the ball was still in the air after the... Well, here's the setup. There was a bootleg pass by Robert Strausser. Preston Beard was offset. And as he threw the ball downfield, the ball was knocked loose by the Toledo Scott defensive back. The ball was in the air. Toledo Scott had the ball, but I don't know why Toledo Scott wouldn't have the interception.
Punting for the Southview Saints. Brett Crumley. Punt lands on about the 21-yard line and will be down by the Saints just over the 20.
Okay, well, I've been informed the reason why Toledo Scott didn't have the interception is that they had it and dropped it, which I didn't see. Mr. Quinlan helped me out on that.
Well, that's why we have such an outstanding cameraman, producer, and director.
And that's why we have 3 pairs of eyes up here for the first
Amen.
2 to...
And your pair is the youngest.
Well, I won't comment on that. On that play, it wasn't.
All right, the Bulldogs with the ball now on their own 21-yard line, 1st and 10. At the quarterback, Ian Townsend. Hands off to Steve Lewis. Tackle made by Preston Beard.
Real quickly, bad sign here. Kyle Crumley, number 60, is coming off. Steve Dury is taking a look at him. He's a defensive left tackle and a starting right guard for Southview. That's a 2-way ball player. Toledo Scott is playing a full house with a tight end and 1 split end. We'll call it a bone backfield with a split receiver. And they handed it off to the fullback to the right side of Toledo Scott's line.
Aaron Townsend, the quarterback, a 155-pound sophomore. He's got the ball on the quarterback option, and he's running loose and finally brought down from behind right about the 50-yard line by Will Torres, and there's a flag on the play.
All right, a lot to talk about here. First of all, Will Torres, great job, game-saving tackle. There is a flag on the ground. They're calling it against Toledo Scott, and this is going to be interesting. There was a split end to Southview's side, tight in the top of the screen, full house backfield, and Toledo Scott ran what is called a dive option play. Fake to the fullback. The first play they gave it to the fullback. This time they faked the fullback over to the left side. Quarterback kept it, and Southview had nobody on the quarterback. It was a nicely conceived play by Toledo Scott, Ron.
And that puts the ball back to the 24-yard line, where it's going to be now 2nd down and about 7. As we indicated, Aaron Townsend is the quarterback, a 155-pound sophomore. Also in the backfield for the Bulldogs, Steve Lewis, a 160-pound junior, and Willis Behringer, a 175-pound sophomore. The fullback is Sean Warren, a 180-pound junior. And the pitch goes back to Steve Lewis. He's looking for running room. He's going to be brought down for a big loss by Brandon Neely, the defensive cornerback for the Southview Saints. Checking defensively for the Saints, the 2 defensive ends are Nick Henderson, a 200-pound senior, and Joe Spahn, a 245-pound junior. The defensive tackles are Kyle Crumley, a 255-pound senior, and Lee Skanicki, a 285-pound senior. Linebackers are Steve Ridnour, James Thompson, and Preston Beard. The corners are Jeremiah Martinez and Brandon Neely, and the safeties Will Torres and Stephen Yates for the Southview Saints. And the give is to the fullback, Sean Warren, a 180-pound junior, gets up close to the 20-yard line.
Tackle by number 33.
Tackle made by James Hamilton, now in the lineup defensively for Southview.
To recap these past 2 plays, the previous play, Toledo Scott came up in a, well, let me get back. We'll get it right here when we get this play off.
Townsend looking to pass, hands off instead to Steve Lewis. Lewis to the 30, 35, and finally brought out of bounds, but he picks up a big first down for the Bulldogs. Knocked out of bounds by Jeremiah Martinez, the 145-pound senior.
20 on the play.
To be honest with you, I'm having trouble recapping 3 plays here. On this play, Toledo Scott showed trips. They had 1 back in the backfield, a fullback, and they ran a draw off that. Missed tackles by Southview, and the draw fullback on the top of the screen got a first down.
Alan Jones, a 190-pound sophomore, is the center for the Bulldogs. Townsend takes the snap. He's got the ball. He's keeping it, and brought down hard at the 45-yard line. Tackle made by Josh Gregoric.
Okay, you're seeing option football, and this quarterback, Ian Townsend, is running it to perfection. And he came down the line after faking to the fullback, and nobody was on him or not covered real well. Ian Townsend took it upfield. Free safety came in, or one of the linebackers, Gregoric, and made a stop. 2nd down and 5 for the Bulldogs. Ball on their own 45-yard line. Townsend hands off to Lewis. Lewis fighting his way close to the 50. They'll spot the ball at about the 48-yard line, where it's going to be 3rd down and very short. Tackle made by the inside linebacker, James Thompson, a 190-pound senior and the leading tackler in 1998 for the Southview Saints, doing quite a job right now in 1999. The 2 offensive guards for the Bulldogs, Shamar Baldwin and John Tall. Tall, by the way, is 6'4", 295-pound senior. And a whistle. That's going to be a 5-yard penalty against the Bulldogs for delay of game. Shamar Baldwin, the left guard, is a 260-pound junior. The 2 tackles are Ashley Tucker, a 290-pound senior, and Gary Mays, a 315-pound senior. The tight end is Gene Patterson, a 194-pound junior. The wide receiver is Nate Washington, a 135-pound junior. Very interesting, John. The Bulldogs only have 3 seniors starting offensively, 5 juniors and 3 sophomores. The give is to the fullback, Sean Warren. Okay, what third down play here, and they chose to keep it on the ground. What Toledo Scott's doing, they're varying their formations,
By number 1.
and we'll get them down as they change from play to play here. But Toledo Scott has shown the ability to mix up their formations. They've run option, they have run counter, they have run fullback dive, and on that critical third down play, they decided not to throw the ball. So this looks like a team that wants to run.
Warren picking up only a yard on the play. It's fourth down and about 5 yards, so a punting situation. Punting for the Bulldogs, Gerald Austin. And another flag. Delay of game. That'll take the ball back to just over the 40-yard line, where Austin will be punting. Back around his 30.
Just one of the maddening mental errors that all football players make and just drive coaches nuts.
Deep receiver for the Saints, Brandon Neely. And that punt almost blocked. Neely picks it up on his 26-yard line to the 30, looking for a place to run, cutting back inside, and he is brought down by the Bulldogs, Willis Behringer.
Boy, Steve Yates is not a running back in the Southview backfield, but he sure made Toledo Scott almost pay for it. He made a lot of people miss on that situation. Toledo Scott's first 2 tacklers missed on that punt return.
Strouser hands off to Martinez. Martinez out of bounds at about the 48-yard line.
Coach Kleiner is extremely upset because there was a definite, and Coach Shoulders, there was a definite late hit on the sideline after the play, but no foul was called. Southview opened up with a 1-back set, and they trapped with the right guard. I don't know if Kyle Crumley's back in the lineup, but the right guard did the trap. Jeremiah Martinez made a nice adjustment after the trap, and it's a first down run.
First and 10 from Southview's 48-yard line. Again, the give is to Martinez across the mid-stripe and into Bulldog territory. The ball at about the 46-yard line. Tackle made by Gregory Watkins. Checking the rest of the offensive lineup for the Saints. At center is Steve Ridnour, a 210 junior. The guards are Joe Spahn, a 245-pound junior, and Kyle Crumley, a 255-pound senior. Lee Skanicki, a 285-pound senior, is at left tackle. Right tackle is Joe Mixa, a 240-pound junior, and the tight end is Matt Tyler, a 210-pound senior. And the give is to Preston Beard. Beard picks up another big first down for the Southview Saints, and that ball will be close to the Bulldogs' 30-yard line. Tony Rodriguez is also playing in offensively for the Southview Saints at left guard, since, as John indicated, Joe Spahn came out with what appeared to be a rather injured hand, and he's still on the sidelines. First and 10 for the Saints on the Bulldog 31-yard line. The pitch goes back to Southview's. Well, we're trying to determine number 45, a freshman in the ball game, Jeffrey Hughes, a 6'2", 170-pound freshman, just added to the roster this week. Tackle made by Preston Lucas.
Okay, on this play, we'll pick it up after on the next play.
Gain of 3 yards, second down and 7. Strouser back to pass. Connects to Thompson. Thompson over to the far side. Still skirting the sideline and out of bounds at about the 3-yard line, where it's going to be first and goal for the Southview Saints. Beautiful job by James Thompson, normally a defensive linebacker, the 190-pound senior now playing on offense.
James Thompson did a drag across the across the weak side of the formation. Robert Strouser had a bootleg pass. James Thompson had made a nice one-handed catch down inside the 5-yard line.
First and goal from the 3-yard line. 4 minutes and 5 seconds remaining in the first quarter, and the give is to Preston Beard. He's in the end zone. Touchdown. The Southview Saints go on the board 6-0 with 4:01 remaining in the first quarter.
Southview's done a nice job. This time Preston Beard was in the tailback spot and the quarterback opened it up. Offensive line for Southview did a nice job. They've got a resulting 6 points.
And we're happy to report Joe Spawn is back in the lineup at left guard for the Saints. So whatever the problem to the hand was, it's been corrected. He's in the ball game. Brett Crumley will be attempting the extra point for the Saints. Brandon Neely will be doing the holding. Good snap, ball down, in the air, and it is no good. So with 4:01 remaining in the first quarter, the Southview Saints leading the Toledo Scott Bulldogs 6-0. And we'd like to thank the fine folks at Tops at the center of Sheffield for supplying all the refreshments here in the press box for the coaches, visiting coaches, and the media, press and electronic as well. Thank you, Tops. Kicking off for the Southview Saints, Brett Crumley. High, long kick taken by the Bulldog Steve Lewis. Lewis up to the 20, the 25, gets up to about the 28-yard line before being tackled by Edwin Vargas.
On the kickoff, it didn't look like Toledo Scott was real organized on their kickoff return. There was a lot of separation between the second wall and the first wall, and not much yardage as a result.
You know, John, we had talked earlier that the Bulldogs only have 3 seniors on the offensive starting 11 and only 1 senior on their starting defensive 11. Someone had indicated Toledo Scott is not a football school. It's a basketball school, and the seniors choose to go out for basketball, leaving football for the underclassmen.
Well, it's a situation that they're going to, if they've got only 3 seniors starting, look out for next year.
Sean Warren brings the ball up to the 30-yard line. Gain of a yard on the play, second down and 9. Unless some of these taller sophomores and juniors get a chance to go out for basketball.
There you go.
And vacate football. But like you say, if they stay, look out. Pitch goes back to Willis Behringer. Behringer going to be thrown for a loss on that play. Making the tackle for the Southview Saints, James Hamilton.
On that play, Toledo Scott kept the bone, the 2 halfbacks and the fullback in, split into the bottom of the screen here, and they ran behind the tight end on just a toss sweep to the right halfback, but Southview did a great job. It's 3rd and 10. They got nothing on that sweep to Toledo Scott's sideline.
Clock is running with 2 minutes 45 seconds remaining in the first quarter play. Southview on top 6-0. Back to pass is Townsend. He's trying to find a receiver. He's going to be brought from behind. Tackle made by Southview's Lee Skanicki, a 285-pound senior.
Well, when you get a team that runs a full house backfield, a right half, a left half, and a fullback, and then you break the bone, you take one of the halves and put them in the slot. There was 2 receivers at the bottom of the screen. That indicated that Toledo Scott wanted to throw the football. Well, they didn't do a very good job of protecting the quarterback, and Lee Skanicki made the tackle.
Gerald Austin will be punting for the Bulldogs, punting from his own 11-yard line. High snap taken and blocked. Picked up by Austin. And a flag.
Let me set this up. On the first punt that Toledo Scott did, it was nearly blocked. It looks like there's a poor coordination aspect between the punt snapper and the punter. Punt snapper's not doing a good job. On this one, it was blocked. The punter picked the ball up after it was blocked. He wasn't tackled. He had a first down and more, but as he ran perimeter towards Toledo Scott at the top of the screen, there was a clip by one of the Toledo Scott players. So this thing is going to come back. I'm sure Southview is going to take the penalty and make Toledo Scott punt again so they can block it again and maybe get a touchdown.
Will Torres was the Saint who blocked that punt.
And why not? He's 6'4", and that's a lot of extension.
6'4", 190. A lot of power in a body like that.
And we've seen him extend himself in the second ball game of the season, and seems to be a fine athlete.
And had occasion to talk to him after the game out in the parking lot. Not only a fine athlete,
Nice
but
kid.
a fine gentleman.
Oh, absolutely.
Fine gentleman.
Well, I guarantee you, Southview's putting the block on right now. You can see 88 Will Torres down on the outside right in the center of the field.
Austin punting now from about his 4-yard line. Gets a high punt taken on the 40-yard line by Southview's Stephen Yates. And that will give the Saints good field position on the Bulldogs' 35-yard line.
I think Steve Yates wants to get in Southview's crowded backfield because he did not fair catch that, and he ran the ball with a crowded perimeter of Toledo Scott people, and on the previous punt, he did a nice job on it. So maybe Steve Yates on these punt returns is trying to say, hey, put me in the backfield also. I want to run the ball.
You know, one of the comments Will Torres made to us is the fact that there's no cable at his place, so he can't watch the game on TV20. Hope somebody will make a videotape of the games and share that with Will or invite him over. Martinez, the ball carrier, and he gets the ball to about the 27, 28-yard line. Good pickup on that first down play. Tackle made by Preston Lucas.
Southview has showed a lot of different formations here. This time it was split backs. Jeremiah Martinez was the right halfback. It was just a buck sweep. Buck sweep meaning left half kicked out, but Jeremiah Martinez took it. I want to make mention on the next play about the wide receivers for Southview on the blocking.
Pickup of 7 yards. It's 2nd down and 3. This time Strouser attempting to pass, but could not get the ball away in time as he was swarmed over by a group of Bulldogs. Leading the charge defensively, Brandon Foster, a 225-pound junior, and Isaac Saxby, a 220-pound junior.
Southview had a one-back set. Preston Beard was the left slot. He went in motion. They tried the boot off the fake to the fullback, and those two people, number 84 and number 40 from Toledo, took care of it.
Loss of about 4 yards on the play. 3rd down and 7. Strouser back to pass again. This time he connects to Brandon Neely up close to the 25-yard line. On the play defensively for the Bulldogs, Charles Wiley.
Okay, Southview had split backs again, and Robert Strouser did a straight drop back, 3-step drop, and there was a square out pattern, a timing pattern to the Southview receiver. And a timing pattern, what I mean by is that it's throwing before you make the break.
And with 4th down and 2 coming up, that's the end of the first quarter of play with Southview on top by a score of 6-0. And we'll be back with the start of the second quarter right after this timeout for First Federal Savings of Lorain.
Since 1921, your hometown financial professionals at First Federal Savings of Lorain have dedicated themselves to meeting the financial needs of their customers and surrounding communities. They offer a wide variety of financial investments as well as home mortgages to meet your every need. Loans on cars, boats, mobile homes, and other worthwhile purchases are also available. Whatever your financial need, First Federal Savings of Lorain is ready to help. 6 convenient locations to serve you in Lorain, Huron, Sandusky, and Port Clinton, with a 7th office opening soon in Avon. First Federal Savings of Lorain is an equal housing lender and FDIC insured.
Hello. Going into the end zone, Preston Beard. Touchdown for the Southview Saints. What a start to the second quarter with 11 minutes, 53 seconds. That only took 7 seconds.
On this play, Southview had a single back look. It was Preston Beard, and he simply took an open handoff to the 4-hole or the 6-hole, the right side of Southview's offensive line. And this has happened more than once. Brandon Neely, who was the wide receiver, the flanker wide receiver, did a great stalk block and allowed Preston to go and untouched for a touchdown.
Saints going for 2 points. Strauser looking to pass into the end zone. Thompson, 2 points, and now it's Southview 14. The Toledo Scott Bulldogs, nothing. Southview Saints, Brett Crumley. Deep receivers for the Bulldogs, Gerald Austin and Steve Lewis. High, long kick. Taken on the 10-yard line by Steve Lewis. Lewis looking for running room, going from west to east. And he's going to get close to the 25-yard line. Brought down by a host of Southview tackles. And one of the Bulldogs, Isaac Saxby, had to be helped off the field just prior to the kickoff, a result of looked to be a leg injury from the extra point attempt, which was successful by the Saints.
Ball on the 25, first and 10 Bulldogs.
Bulldogs ball, first and 10 on their own 25-yard line. We're in the second quarter of play. The Southview Saints on top, 14-0. And this is the team that gave Southview their first loss of the 1998 season after the Saints went 3-0. Townsend handing off to his big fullback, Sean Warren. Warren, no gain on the play. The ball spotted on the 25. It'll be 2nd and 10.
On this play, Toledo Scott had trips to Southview's sideline, and they just simply gave it to the fullback. And like you said, Ron, the fullback is a good-sized kid, but Southview held him to no gain.
In addition to the 3 seniors that the Bulldogs have on offense, they've got 5 juniors and 3 sophomores. And 3 of the 4 that are coming off the bench to carry the ball are underclassmen. Townsend to pass. Off the fingertips of the intended receiver, DeJuan Witcher, a 180-pound junior.
All right, interesting play. First play, Toledo Scott shows a 1-back set and trips. They come back on 2nd and long with the bone in a split end. Tight end left, split end to the top of the screen. One of the more devastating plays, a play action pass that you can make, is to have a back come out of the backfield. And there was a broken coverage because right in the middle of the field, one of the running backs for Toledo Scott were dead open. They should have hit him. It should have been a touchdown. Incomplete pass.
3rd and 10 for the Bulldogs, and just prior to this play, Martinez came hobbling off the field for the Southview Saints. Certainly hope that he'll be all right. Flags on the play. Southview pointing to the Bulldogs like it's your fault.
Ron, we've talked about this before, and it's a procedure call against Toledo Scott. You get one of these nights where it's a beautiful night for the spectators. You and I have got jackets up here, but we're not necessarily wearing them. And you get these kids sweated up on their calves, and they will cramp up, and sometimes that's a fate worse than death. It is not a debilitating injury for long, but when it's there, it is painful.
Like taking your lower lip and moving it up over your forehead.
Something like that.
As Bill Cosby once said. Townsend looked like he was going to pass, but instead hands off to Steve Lewis.
Tackle by number 1.
Preston Beard making the tackle for the Saints. Pickup of about 7 yards on the play. It'll be 4th down and 7. And a punt situation.
What has got to be good for Southview is that Toledo Scott does not seem to have a passing game on these critical 3rd down plays. Here's another draw. They've only thrown 1 pass, and we're 10 minutes into the 2nd quarter.
Gerald Austin punting for the Bulldogs, punting from his own 15-yard line. Brandon Neely, deep receiver for the Saints. Neely takes the ball on his own 40, looking for some running room. Gets up to, coming over to the near side, across the 45, crosses mid-stripe, into Bulldog territory, and finally brought down on about the 43-yard line by B.J. Gordon. And there's a flag.
I don't know who this flag is against. Somebody's upset, and the Southview coaches are pulling a couple of the Southview players to the sideline. I thought they would block the punt, Southview. They did not. It was a decent punt. Best snap and best punt by Toledo Scott we've seen tonight. Brandon Neely, nice athlete, made some people miss. And The wide receiver, Torres, did a nice job by getting a block on one of the Toledo Scott people, Will Torres, and I thought it was a legal block.
The referee indicating clipping on the play.
I'll tell you, I disagree with that, because to be considered a clip, you've got to put your head on the back side where the number is on the back of the shoulder pads. I thought clearly, because you and I could see it set up, everybody in the stand saw it was going to happen. I thought his helmet was going to be right in the middle or the front of the body. I thought that should have been a legal block.
Well, apparently there was also a penalty against the Bulldogs.
There were 2 flags on the ground.
One in the backfield area,
Right,
which was more than likely the penalty against the Bulldogs. So the officials, rather than offsetting the penalties, marched off the 15 yards for the clip and then marched off another 15 yards for apparently a personal foul against the Bulldogs.
Well called.
Southview's got the ball, though, 1st and 10 from the Bulldogs' 44-yard line. Strouser passing to Brandon Neely. Neely out of bounds on the 40. Charles Wiley, the left defensive linebacker, covering on the play for the Bulldogs. Pick up a 5 yards, 2nd down and 5.
Second time Southview showing this. 3-step drop by Robert Strouser. Brandon Neely on a timing square out pattern. 1st and 10, 2nd and 5. Nice play in the square out.
Strouser gives to Martinez, so his hobbling off the field didn't amount to too much, and we're thankful for that, and so is Coach Kleiner. Martinez brought down by Gregory Watkins. No gain on the play. It'll be 3rd down and 5.
Southview shows up in an I set. Preston Beard is not offset. He has a one-on-one block with Gregory Watkins, and on this play, the linebacker from Toledo Scott won the battle. Southview probably lost just a little bit. Nice job, linebacker Toledo Scott.
Strouser gives to the first back through Preston Beard. Beard picks up a 1st down for the Saints, tackled by Charles Wiley. It'll be 1st and 10. The ball on, well, must have been a fumble.
There was.
Okay. Fumble on the play, and the Bulldogs recover.
Preston Beard was offset to the left, true tailback, tight end right, flanker right down here at the bottom of the screen. Quick trap. Joe Spahn did a nice job. Preston Beard was in the backfield, but Charles Wiley did a nice job of hitting Preston Beard, and guess what? Toledo Scott's got the ball going the other way.
All right, a break for the Bulldogs. They've got the ball on their own 27-yard line, 1st and 10. Townsend, the quarterback, gives it to Lewis. The fake was to his fullback, Warren. Lewis skirting the far sideline and knocked out of bounds by the Southview Steve Ridenauer, a 210-pound junior.
I'm going to tell you, this Steve Lewis, who is a junior, and he's a 160-pound junior, has got a lot of speed. It was trips to the bottom of the screen, fake to the fullback. Steve Lewis came around on a 2nd handoff counter. He made one man miss, and he's a kid we got to watch during the game. Little bit of speed here with number 21.
Pickup of a long 5 yards. It's 2nd down and a short 5. The give this time is to Lewis on the fake to the fullback. Lewis gets the ball across the 35-yard line. Pickup of a couple of yards on the play. In on the stop for the Saints, James Thompson.
Toledo Scott came back with the bone. They had 3 people in the backfield, and one of the nice things about the bone is that you can have a lot of deceptions in the handoff. And viewers, if you can, I want you to look at the offensive linemen. They all go down into a 4-point stance. This is why Toledo Scott does not throw the ball real well. All the linemen are in a 4-point stance.
3rd down and about a yard. And the give is to the fullback, Sean Warren.
Tackled
picks up a first down for the Bulldogs, brought down by a host of Southview Saints.
Ron, would you agree with me that before we can say anything, we've really got to look carefully where the ball's going?
Oh, absolutely.
Because the quarterback in this wishbone set is very deceptive, and he simply had, this is a fullback dive for a first down, but I'm looking to see if there's going to be an option off of that because you're not sure.
A couple of times I was ready to give a name and nope,
right,
wrong one.
Well, that's a credit to the coaching staff at Toledo Scott.
And a good job by Townsend.
Absolutely.
This time Townsend pitches to Lewis, no doubt about that. Lewis on the far side picks up another first down for the Bulldogs, gets it into Saint territory. In on the stop, Will Torres for the Southview Saints.
Okay, I told you got to watch out for this kid. We've seen him a little bit earlier. Steve Lewis, they had a full house, simply did a toss sweep to Toledo Scott's top of the screen. And there was a split end up there, and he did a nice stalk block, and he almost broke this again.
1st and 10 for the Bulldogs, the ball on the Southview Saints 44-yard line. Lewis gives to his fullback, Sean Warren. Warren gets up close to the 40, tackled by James Thompson. They'll spot the ball just over the 40, a pickup of 4 yards on the play, 2nd down and 6.
Full house set for Toledo Scott, and they ran a trapped with the right guard. Toledo Scott did what Southview likes to do, is trap. James Thompson, leading tackler, nice job on that trap play with the fullback. That was linebacker on fullback. Southview did a nice job.
And a flag.
Real quickly, if we got some time here, Ron, just both sides, Southview and Toledo Scott, their runners are making people miss, and that's a skill. If you're going to make somebody miss as a first tackler, you've got to run up to them, square up your feet, and then step over with the other foot as you want to go. And I've seen some nice runners make some nice tacklers miss tonight.
5-yard penalty marched off against the Bulldogs, sets them back to the Southview 45-yard line, 2nd down and 11. Lewis fakes the give to his fullback and hands it off, and we're going to have a touchdown for the Bulldogs as they get on the board. Running the ball, Gerald Austin, a 167-pound sophomore.
What a great play. Now, if you go back to any of the Admiral King games that you've seen previously, Admiral King will have a second handoff to a second back. And what Toledo Scott here had was a bone. They faked the ball to their fullback that everybody, I'm sure Southview was keen on, but they handed the second handoff to number 14, and Southview did not follow him or see him. Touchdown. Great call.
Doing the holding for the Bulldogs, Donnie Ramsey attempting the extra point. Eric Crawford. Ball is down, and it's blocked. So the score with 5 minutes and 57 seconds remaining in the second quarter of play, it is Southview 14 and Toledo Scott 6.
The football. On this last play that the extra point was blocked by Southview, the kicker waited for the ball to be snapped and placed on the tee and held there. That is not what you do. You've got to have faith in your snapper and your holder, and you've got to step towards that ball before it hits the tee. Toledo Scott didn't do that, blocked extra point.
Eric Crawford kicking off for the Bulldogs. Ball taken on the 19-yard line by Brandon Neely. Brandon Neely breaking into the open to the 40. He's to the 30, being chased by Gerald Austin of the Bulldogs, finally bringing Brandon Neely down, but deep in Bulldog territory. They're going to spot that ball on the 14-yard line, and one of the Bulldogs back on the Toledo Scott 29-yard line, shaken up, finally gets up and is able to get off on his own power. Preston Lucas.
As I was looking for Toledo Scott's kickoff, I wanted to see if they'd made any adjustments, because if you remember, on the first kickoff at the beginning of the game, and Southview just popped it. But here they did a better job of covering. But Brandon Neely, again, a nice athlete, just popped it with better lane coverage by Toledo Scott.
close to an 80-yard kickoff return for Brandon Neely. 1st and 10 from the 14. And the give is to Preston Beard, if I can see correctly from our disadvantage point. Yes, indeed. Preston Beard picks up about a yard on the play. It'll be 2nd down and 9.
It's always interesting. You let a tailback. Now, Preston Beard was a tailback here. I think Jeremiah Martinez has got some calf problems. He hasn't been in there. An isolation or an off-tackle isolation. The fullback went off tackle, but Preston Beard didn't follow the fullback. So whether he chose to or not, resultant 2nd and 8. Not much game.
James Hamilton in at fullback for the Saints. Preston Beard the tailback, and Strouser passing to Hamilton. Hamilton's going to be thrown for a loss on that play. Brought down by a host of Bulldog tacklers. Leading the charge for the Bulldogs, Steve Lewis.
Okay, on this play, I backfield for Southview, tight end at the bottom of the screen, flanker at the bottom of the screen. The flanker went in motion, did a little post pattern up the middle, and then we had a square out by the tight end, but the fullback came out in the flat, and that's who Robert Strouser threw the ball to. Toledo Scott, nice defensive job.
Loss of 3 yards on the play. It's 3rd down and 12. Strouser again to pass. Into the end zone, intercepted right at the goal line by Steve Lewis. Lewis brings the ball out to about the 25-yard line, where the Bulldogs will take over 1st and 10. Tackle made by Southview's Robert Strouser.
The one who threw the ball.
Yep.
Okay, we had split backs for Southview, slot back in motion, slot back at the bottom of the screen, motion to the top of the field. Robert Strouser, 3-step drop, threw to the wide receiver down here at the bottom of the screen, a split end, and he put it up in the corner of the end zone. Defensive back, Steve Lewis, great job. Nice runner, nice DB, jumped higher than the Southview receiver, intercepted pass.
And Steve Lewis, only 5'9".
Well, he's got a good vertical.
All right, we've got a timeout called on the field by the Toledo Scott Bulldogs, and an opportunity for me to remind you that the Palace Civic Center at 6th and Broadway in downtown Lorain. If you're watching us on Saturday the 18th or Sunday the 19th, you still have a chance to get there to see the Walt Disney full-length feature Tarzan. But if you're watching us during the week of September 20th, sorry, too late. But moms and dads, your movie's coming up that weekend, the 24th, 25th, and 26th. It's Matrix, rated R. 7 p.m. showings all 3 nights, and the admission to Lorain County's largest screen with the absolute best sound system is only $1.50. That's the Palace Civic Center, 6th and Broadway in downtown Lorain. All right, 1st and 10 for the Bulldogs. 1st and 10 on their own 25-yard line. See if they could take advantage of this opportunity like they did before. Townsend to pass. Long one down the field off the fingertips of his intended receiver. And that is Bobby Collins, a 6'1", 185-pound tight end.
Well, I've been shown to be wrong again. You say that you've got a bone offense, lineman on 4-point stances, quarterback that can run the option, not throw real well. They had a bone offense, split end at the top of the screen. Quarterback simply just threw a streak to the wide receiver. I think it surprised everybody. That was nearly a completed pass.
Nate Washington split wide to the left over here on the near side. And Townsend gives to Gerald Austin. Austin running loose. He's to the 30 in Southview territory. 20, 10, 5. He's over. Touchdown. And there isn't a yellow flag on the field.
Okay. I'm going to tell you why the Wishbone offense is good. It is a misdirection offense. Let's set it up. Split end to the bottom of the screen. Quarterback fakes it to the left, to the fullback and the right half. Looks like an isolation or a lead. Number 14, Mr. Austin, who has done well before, comes back on the counter to the top of the screen. Southview bit to the bottom of the screen, and Toledo Scott has got a touchdown. Great play.
with 3 minutes 52 seconds remaining in the first half of play, and a bit of confusion by the Bulldogs as they call timeout. They're down just by 2 points, 14-12. It's a 65-yard touchdown run by Gerald Austin. The Bulldogs going for the 2 extra points, just like the Southview Saints did. See if they can even up this score. And a flag. So we'll sort out illegal procedure against the Bulldogs. That's going to bring the ball back another 5 yards.
Illegal procedure against the Bulldogs.
Coaching point on the touchdown run. If Southview's running a 4-3 defense, the linebacker to the top of the screen has got to stay at home in case that left halfback, number 14, comes back to the top of the screen. And it looked like the linebackers were out of position on the second handoff off the counter, and it really hurt Southview.
Now about 8 yards away from the goal line, the Bulldogs will again go for the 2 extra points. Towson looking to pass, and he is brought down from behind. And no good on the extra points. Covering for the Southview Saints, Steve Ridnour bringing Townsend down. So at 3 minutes and 52 second mark of the second quarter, it remains Southview 14, Toledo Scott 12. Kicking off for the Bulldogs will be Eric Crawford. Deep receivers for the Southview Saints, Brandon Neely. Also in is Willie Tillman. Tillman grabs the ball on his 20, gets across the 25-yard line up to about the 28 before being tackled by Gregory Watkins. And the Southview Saints will now take over 1st and 10. They're going to spot the ball on the Saints 30 or 29-yard line. 1st and 10 from their own 29.
We won't know what kind of adjustment there was in the kickoff team because the ball hit the ground, and by that time Toledo Scott was there to make the tackle.
Robert Strauser, the quarterback. Beard in motion. And the give was to Jeffrey Hughes, the 6'2", 170-pound freshman. Tackle made by Tyler Morgan.
Okay, Southview had a single back. Preston Beard was a slot at the top of the screen, went in motion to us, and Southview came back with Connor Trey, which means backside tackle and guard pulling, top of the screen lineman blocking down. Toledo Scott, nice stop.
No gain on the play, 2nd down and 10. Beard in motion. Strauser to pass. Far side. And he connects with Jeremy Leyva. Leyva picking up a 1st down for the Southview Saints. They're going to spot the ball just over the 45-yard line.
Okay, Southview showed a boot to the top of the screen. They had 2 level receivers, 2 double square out receivers, a short about a 5-yard square out, and the second one, Jeremy Leyva, and Robert Strauser threw it to the 2nd level boot receiver. Nice play, 1st and 10.
Ball on the 46-yard line. 3 minutes remaining in the second quarter. And a fumble on the play. Strauser did not get that snap. And there's going to be a flag as 2 of the players from Southview and Toledo Scott kind of matching masculinity.
Boy, it's so important, and coaches coach their kids all the time, that if something happens during a play that you don't like as a player, if somebody accidentally hits you or something like that, you have got to, what you tell the kid is just do it to the next play, but anything that's a personal foul, you don't get involved with that. One more thing I want to comment on. Robert Strauser, the first time we saw Southview, showed the propensity of not reaching in for that ball. So the ball was on the ground. Very important center quarterback exchange.
All right, the Southview Saints calling a timeout, and just to set up what happened here, the Bulldogs did recover the fumble, and or did they? Well, Let's wait until the timeout. The Southview Saints will have the ball. 1st and 10 from their own 46-yard line. Offsetting penalties, both teams assessed with the unsportsmanlike conduct.
I don't know who called the timeout here.
Southview.
Okay, Southview called the timeout, offsetting penalties, and to both high school coaches' credits, both sides, Southview and Toledo Scott, they got their kids, 11 on one side, 11 on the other, talked to them and says, listen, we're here to play football and no shenanigans.
Good advice. 1st and 10 for the Southview Saints from their own 46. Strouser back to pass, looking for a receiver. Up the middle and grabbed by Preston Beard. Beard takes the ball into Bulldog territory where the Southview Saints will have a 1st and 10. Tackle made by Steve Lewis. They're spotting the ball on about the 34-yard line.
I'll come back to this play because Southview's running a 2-minute offense.
2 minutes and 44 seconds remaining in the first half. Strouser fakes the handoff and passes in and out of the hands of James Thompson. Incomplete pass, 2nd and 10.
Okay, 2nd and 10. Let's go back to the 1st and 10 play. After the offsetting penalties, Southview comes up in a run and shoot look, the Admiral King look. 2 wideouts, 2 halfbacks, and a fullback. Roll out right by Robert Strouser, and Preston Beard is a slide at the top of the screen. I don't know how Strouser gets it off, rolling right, throwing across his body, but he did that to Beard.
Strouser, by the way, coming into this ball game, 20 completions out of 39 passes for 273 yards. The give to Martinez. Martinez on his feet gets to the 25-yard line and a 1st down for the Southview Saints. Gene Patterson making the tackle for the Bulldogs.
The play that we haven't talked about, and once again, Southview is still in 2-minute offense, so we'll try to pick these up after they transpire.
From the 22-yard line, 1st and 10, Strouser to pass. Intended receiver, Brandon Neely, far out of his grasp. Incomplete pass, 2nd and 10.
I'm glad there's an incomplete pass. We can kind of catch up here. Previous play, and we've got a flag showing. I don't know if it's a late hit or whatever, but there's a yellow flag. On the previous play, now we'll see what the officials are saying here.
Flag is on the 29-yard line.
On the previous play, Southview had split backs, and they had shown 2 passes, and you would think that they would do that. So what did they come up with was a draw to Jeremiah Martinez. Here on this play was a bootleg out to the right, run and shoot look, 2 wideouts, 2 slots. They threw to Brandon Neely, incomplete pass, and now they're walking off the yardage against Toledo Scott. I don't know what the infraction was for.
Whatever it was a lot of yardage marched off, and the ball now on the 11-yard line, 1st and 10 for the Southview Saints, so they can pick up a 1st down and before they get a touchdown. And Strouser attempting to pass. He is thrown for a big loss by Isaac Saxby, a 220-pound junior.
What a great job by Mr. Saxby, because it was going to be a boot to the top of the screen and he would have none of it. And I was going to say they're thinking a flag is on the ground, but that flag was never picked up from the previous play. So we got a timeout, and Toledo Scott had just a nice play on that boot pass.
2 minutes, 14 seconds remaining in the first half. 14-12, Southview on top by 2. Big loss on that play of about 10 yards. It's 2nd down and 20 for the Southview Saints. Strouser looking to pass again and hits up the middle to Will Torres. Torres gets to the 5-yard line, and that's going to be close to a 1st down. They need about 3 more yards for the 1st down.
Boy, and why not go to a 6'4" receiver? Southview had 2 receivers down here at the bottom of the screen. Wing back at the top of the screen, went in motion to trips. And Will Torres had an inside route that Robert Strouser on a short delivery threw to him. Nice pass. 3rd and goal.
Pickup of 16 yards on the play. They need 4 yards for the 1st down. And But he got across. Preston Beard had the ball knocked out, but the official says he crossed that goal line before it was knocked out. Touchdown, Southview.
And even though the ball was in the air, the important thing, the reason why it's a touchdown, is that the ball, you've heard it before with announcers, has crossed the plane, and they're giving the touchdown to Southview, even though Toledo Scott has the football.
Okay. Southview obviously in possession of that ball, so no matter how it crosses the goal line,
right,
it's a touchdown.
As long as you cross the plane, no matter what happens after that, you've got to score.
Neely on the hold, Crumley on the extra point, and a flag. Roughing the kicker, called against the Bulldogs, Gene Patterson.
That will be assessed on the kickoff. And
the point after was good. Southview, with 1 minute 44 seconds remaining in the first half, lead the Bulldogs 21-12. Roughing the kicker penalty for the point after. Crumley will now be kicking off from the Bulldogs 45 instead of his own 40. 15 yards marched off. Good place for an onside kick. Anyway, it goes into the end zone, and Gerald Austin chooses to down it. That will bring the ball out to the 20-yard line, where the Bulldogs will take over first and 10 from their own 20. Aaron Townsend, the quarterback, gives it off to DeJuan Witcher, a 180-pound junior. Witcher gets the ball up to the 25-yard line before being tackled by Preston Beard.
Well, in a situation like this, it would be nice if Toledo Scott had more of a passing attack, but with the Wishbone offense, you know, you're kind of limited with showing only one receiver, so they fake the ball to the right, coming back on the second handoff to the right halfback.
Pick up a 5, second down and 5 for the Bulldogs. Clock is running with just over a minute remaining in the first half. Now Townsend back to pass, looking for a receiver, throws up the middle and completed to his receiver, Willis Behringer. First and 10 for the Bulldogs. Tackle made by Will Torres.
Gosh, Toledo Scott gets out of the bone, goes into that Admiral King run and shoot look. All 4 receivers ran streaks, and the receiver at the slot at the top of the screen took the ball right in front of the free safety, got a hit by Will Torres, but still kept the ball. That free safety's got to get in and jar that ball loose before that kid makes that catch.
From their own 49-yard line, first and 10 for the Bulldogs. Clock continues to run, 35 seconds. Townsend back to pass, looking for a receiver. He's going to be thrown for a loss in the backfield. Making the tackle for the Southview Saints, Kyle Crumley, a 255-pound senior.
Okay, the bone was broken, meaning the right half went to the top of the screen through a Twins look, and Toledo Scott was looking to throw the ball again, but we've talked about Kyle Crumley. He's won the award at Michigan, and nice job on a pass rush to get the quarterback.
Timeout with 21 seconds remaining in the first half. Okay, with 21 seconds remaining in the second quarter, Ian Townsend leading his Bulldogs, trying to get some points on the board before this half comes to an end. He's back to pass, looking for a receiver, being chased, looking, throws to the far side and hits. Connects with Nate Washington.
Gosh, how'd that happen? You've got 2 receivers at the top of the screen, receiver down at the bottom. Toledo Scott wants to throw. They've got the middle linebacker, James Thompson, rushing, and he rolls out, breaks contain, and gets the ball to one of the 2 receivers at the top of the screen, and neither one of them came back to the ball. That was all the quarterback's doing. Nice job.
First and 10 for the Bulldogs from Southview's 39-yard line with 13 seconds remaining in the first half. Townsend back to pass again, and he's running with the ball. Finally, he flips it off to Lewis, and Lewis is brought down. And that should be the end of the second quarter, which it is. At the end of the first half, it's the Southview Saints on top by a score of 21-12. And we'll be back with the start of the second half right after this timeout for impressions.
Your one-stop place for something really special is Impressions, corner of Oberlin Avenue and Tower Boulevard. T-shirts and sweatshirts personally designed to your specific needs. Anything from bears, trains to zebras, and specially designed hats as well. And don't forget Impressions, your one-stop spot for school jackets. See Dave, the designer expert at Impressions, Oberlin Avenue at Tower Boulevard, right here in Lorain.
The Toledo Scott Bulldogs, in winning the toss at the beginning of the game, deferred to receive until the beginning of the second half, which they are about to do as Crumley puts the foot to the ball. And it lands on the 20, picked up on the 15, and it is Steve Lewis.
The receiver for Toledo Scott decided to short hop the ball, and I thought it was going to go out of bounds, which would allow Toledo Scott to have the ball in the 35. But the minute the receiver from Toledo Scott fielded that ball in a short hop and let his left or right knee drop, that ball was down right there.
And it's down on the 19-yard line where the Bulldogs, instead of letting the ball go out of bounds, like you said, John, and having it on the 35, they've got a 1st and 10 on their own 19-yard line.
Right.
Ian Townsend, the quarterback. The give to his fullback, Sean Warren.
Well, Ron, I'm going to correct you. I thought I saw the left half carry that, which would have been
Steve Lewis.
Well, Gerald Austin, I thought, was number 14 with the ball, and you could be right. But on this play, they had the full house, the split end of the short side of the field here, and they just ran off tackle right. Not much came.
Well, the disadvantage I have is a big light pole right in front of me.
That's why I helped you out.
Between me and the field. Townsend back to pass and connects. The receiver, DeJuan Witcher, picks up a big first down for the Bulldogs. Stop made by Brandon Neely. They'll bring the ball to the 44-yard line where the Bulldogs take over 1st and 10 on their own 44.
I'll bet you Coach Kleiner is upset in the fact that that was a one-man route. Receiver at the top of the screen did a post. They completed the pass, and there was only one receiver out there. Should not have happened.
Townsend gives to the first man through, and that's his fullback, Sean Warren. Warren picks up about a yard on the play. It'll be 2nd down and 9. James Thompson, the middle linebacker, making the tackle for the Saints.
With this offensive set that Toledo Scott's got, they want to show the fullback on 1st and 10 to set everything up. James Thompson did a nice job with the fullback. Let's see what they do off of this previous play.
And the give this time to Willis Behringer. Behringer on the far side, still running. He's into the end zone. Touchdown.
Oh, what a great play. This is the same play that Toledo Scott ran in the first half, second handoff. It was Wishbone Offense, all 3 backs in the backfield. He had the second handoff to the right half, and oh man, what a great job he did. 2 or 3 people missed him downfield. But what Southview's having trouble doing is a second handoff. They're biting on the fullback in the other half. This misdirection play is killing Southview.
The Bulldogs will be going for the 2 extra points. 10 minutes and 8 seconds remaining in the 3rd quarter. 21-18 the score. Southview on top by 3. Townsend to pass. And incomplete to Behringer. So the Southview lead still is by 3 points, 21-18. Watching these Bulldogs play here at George Daniel Stadium, hard to believe they're only 1-2 on the season. In fact, last week they got shut out by a Division V football team. Brandon Neely taking the kickoff, gets the ball to about the 32-yard line. Tackle made by Preston Lucas. Last week against Akron Manchester, the Bulldogs got beat 35-0. The week before that, however, in the second week, they shut out Cincinnati Withrow 25-0, losing the very first game of the season to Dayton Dunbar 32-8.
But in defense of Manchester, Manchester is excellent football.
Absolutely. They have been traditionally. Coach French down there at Manchester, who is also the school's principal, does an outstanding job. And it is Preston Beard with the ball for the Southview Saints. Gets it up to the 40-yard line. Tackle made by B.J. Gordon. Pickup of 8 yards on the play. 2nd down and 2.
What was good for Toledo Scott on a second handoff is good enough for Southview. Split backs. First ball or first fake to the right half. Give it to Preston Beard coming over the top. Linebackers didn't stay home for Toledo Scott.
The give this time to Martinez. Picks up maybe about a yard on the play. Maybe short of a first down. Brought down by a host of Bulldog tacklers. In on the charge, Isaac Saxby.
I'm going to tell you why I couldn't give you the tackle. I was watching the linebacker from Toledo Scott. On the Southview had an I formation. Preston Beard took on Kevin Ham, and Kevin Ham won that battle. He did an excellent job stopping the isolation. Didn't make the tackle, but stopped Preston Beard.
3rd down, less than a yard to go for a first down. Big play now for the Southview Saints. And the give to Preston Beard. 1st down and more as he gets the ball up close to the mid-stripe. Stop made by Gregory Watkins.
3rd and 1, critical play. You got a 220-pound fullback in a single set. Southview had motion from top of the screen down to the bottom of the screen. Simple handoff to the fullback, but Toledo Scott had him in the backfield, missed the tackle. Nice running, Preston Beard, 1st down.
From the Southview 49-yard line, Strouser gives again to Beard, gets it into Bulldog territory, about a yard or 2. Tackle made by B.J. Gordon.
We have heard from some of the scouts up here from Toledo Scott that B.J. Gordon was going to be one of the starting linebackers and is supposed to be a good one, and he's come up here on a couple plays and made some nice stops. Back-to-back plays for Preston Beard.
Pickup of 2 yards on the play, 2nd down and 8. Strouser to pass. Up the middle and connects with Matt Tyler. And the ball taken by the Bulldogs as he loses it. And going for the pay dirt is Rockney Adams. Rockney Adams into the end zone. And we're looking to see if there are any flags. Whoa, and they're going to call the ball back.
Okay, what they're saying is that they threw the ball, and I didn't catch the Southview receiver, Ron. Who was the Southview receiver that they threw the ball to?
The receiver was Matt Tyler.
Okay, they threw the ball to Matt Tyler, Robert Strouser did, and there's a big conference here with the 5 officials, and what they're probably talking about was whether or not on the throw to the tight end Tyler, who ran a short streak, was whether or not Matt Tyler was down or not. I personally thought he wasn't down, that he was going down, and that the Toledo Scott secondary picked it up and had a touchdown the other way. But you can see they're talking this one out.
Well, one thing they do not have advantage of here at George Daniel Stadium is instant replay.
If they did, they would challenge it. All right, here's what they're calling, I believe, a fumble off of the recept by Matt Tyler, but no advancement on the fumble.
All right, so the Bulldogs do take the ball, 1st and 10. The ball on their own 33-yard line. Bulldogs trail by 3 points, 21-18, 7:43 remaining in the 3rd quarter.
I'll tell you, Toledo Scott's supposed to be a basketball school. Well, they've got enough football in them. It's a nice football game.
Not to mention the fact, as you pointed out, John, the number of players they have on their roster.
In the 40s.
And just about 90% of them underclassmen.
Absolutely. Look out
juniors
next year.
And sophomores.
Look out next year.
If they stay with the program. And why not? Give was to the fullback, Sean Warren. Tackle made by James Thompson. Gain of 2 yards on the play, 2nd down and 8.
Okay, Bone offense, show it to Sean Warren on 1st and 10. James Thompson makes the tackle. Now let's see what Scott does off showing the fullback on 1st and 10.
And it's Townsend with the ball. He almost had it jarred away. Gerald Austin now with it. Gerald Austin is slammed to the ground on the 36-yard line. No gain on the play. It'll be 3rd down and 8. Austin, by the way, had 120 yards, John, in the first half just on 2 carries coming in off the bench.
First time this year I'm at a loss for words. Can you tell me what happened? Was that a second handoff play? Because we've said before, the faking by the Toledo Scott quarterback, Ian Townsend, is so good. I thought that he had given the ball to the fullback again, but I don't know. I couldn't tell.
Townsend was going far to the right with the ball. He was hit. It looked like the ball was jarred, and Austin just happened to be in the right place at the right time, grabbed it, and came over here to the near side and was jarred to the ground.
Well, then it was either a second handoff play or a counter, and Mr. Quinlan does loss for awards too on this play. Our 3rd pair of eyes.
3rd down and 8 for the Bulldogs. A big play for them. And it's Townsend with the ball. Pitches back to Austin. Austin with the ball, and he's not going to get the 1st down. Gets up to about the 40-yard line in that vicinity. Not enough for the 1st down. That'll give the Bulldogs a 4th with under 6 minutes remaining in the 3rd quarter.
Did you get the sense on that play that it was a busted play? It looked like the continuity of the backfield, the quarterback was looking to hand off the ball to somebody. Somebody wasn't there, but then it ended up being an option with Gerald Austin. Amazing.
The Bulldogs are going to make a gutsy move here on 4th and 2. If they make it, they're in good shape. If they don't, Southview's got the ball in good field position. Austin with it, and Austin's out of bounds. We'll have to see where they spot that ball. It is going to be close. The officials are calling timeout as they'll sort things out.
Number one, I disagree with the call because the game, the momentum had been going towards Toledo Scott. Number two, I disagree on the actual call. Southview stopped them. I disagree on the call because they showed sweep out of the bone. I would have gone with a misdirection play, which has killed Southview. Second handoff going the opposite way.
All right, the Saints managing to get Austin out of bounds before hitting that 1st down marker. And the Saints take over 1st and 10. They're on the Bulldogs' 42-yard line. Strouser to pass. Finds a receiver. And it is Brandon Neely to the 5. He's over. Touchdown, Southview Saints. 5 minutes and 15 seconds remaining in the 3rd quarter on the quick play pass from Strouser to Neely. That covering 42 yards, touchdown.
Brandon Neely and Robert Strouser, big-time play. Offset fullback, tailback Jeremiah Martinez. The tight end here to the bottom of the screen did an inside route. The quarterback rolled out to our right at the bottom of the screen. They threw the ball to Brandon Neely, and he has got some speed once he
You talk about
complete.
that tide turning. Crumley with the point after, ball's in the air, and it's good, and the Southview Saints with 5:15 remaining in the 3rd quarter are on top. 28-18, a 10-point lead. Brett Crumley on the kickoff for the Southview Saints. Long kick taken on the 10-yard line by Lewis for the Bulldogs. Now it's DeJuan Witcher carrying the ball. And the tackle made by George Bellingeri.
Toledo Scott on the kickoff return looked like it was going to return middle. Then the return man for Toledo Scott bounced it out to the outside. To Southview's credit, they didn't lose much contain, and Toledo Scott starts the ball inside their 30, so good job, kickoff team for Southview.
Bulldogs 1st and 10 from their own 28-yard line. Townsend gives to Spawn. Sean Warren, his fullback. Warren gets up to about the 38-yard line.
I like the call. They like to show the ball to Sean Warren, the fullback, on 1st and 10. Toledo Scott had 2 wideouts, maybe making Southview think that there was going to be a perimeter play. The right guard trapped. They picked up a first down. Nice call on 1st and 10. Let's see if they show something off the fullback now.
From the 38-yard line, Townsend's handoff to Willis Behringer. Gets the ball up to the 40-yard line. Tackle made by Josh Gregoric.
Okay.
Pickup of a yard on the play, 2nd down and 9.
Excuse me, Ron. Second handoff. Not a misdirection. Fake it to the fullback. Give it to the left half. Southview did a nice job. Only a pickup of 1.5.
Pitch back to Behringer. Behringer breaking through the middle over to the far side and gets enough for a first down for the Toledo Scott Bulldogs. Now into Southview territory on the 48-yard line.
Let me set this play up. The ball started on the right hash with the bone. It showed sweep to Southview's side. The ball ended up back on the right hash because the Behringer right half running back brought it all the way back. He was supposed to start the game, did not. I don't know why he didn't the way he's running. He's a nice runner too. What a cutback.
On the first down for the Bulldogs, Townsend's give as they unpile. That ball carrier kind of slow in getting up. That too again is Willis Behringer. Tackle made by Kyle Crumley, defensive tackle, 255-pound senior. No gain on the play, 2nd down and 10.
No trickery here. The Toledo Scott was in the bone. They gave the ball to the right half. Kyle Crumley is the defensive left tackle. They met head on, and I guarantee you a 255-pound tackle is a lot bigger than a 175-pound running back.
And a flag on the play. Apparently it's going to be delay of game again. That will put the ball back into Bulldog territory on their own 47-yard line and make it 2nd down and 15. That's the 3rd time they've been called for delay of game.
I'm an old offensive coordinator. I don't know where the mess up is, but either the play is being sent in too late. You see how the receiver's just kind of lollygagging as he comes into the huddle, or maybe the quarterback's taking too long, but you got to make that play, send it in quick, get your people set up, and not be delay of game situation.
Bulldog coach James Davis going to have to get those guys to hustle a little more. Behringer, the ball carrier for the Bulldogs, gets across the mid-stripe to about the 49-yard line. Pickup of 4 yards on the play. It's going to be 3rd down and 11. A host of Southview St. tacklers in on the play.
Interesting play here. The sweep to Southview sideline, but if you noticed, Toledo Scott had 2 wideouts. The wideout at the bottom of the screen cracked on the outside linebacker in Southview's defense, and then the running backs kick out the corner. Very good concept of blocking.
Big play for the Bulldogs. 3rd and 11. Townsend the pass. Across the field, far side, open receiver, and he is in the end zone for a touchdown. And it is DeJuan Witcher, a 180-pound junior.
Again, what is amazing is this is a bone offense. This was 3rd and 11 with a 1 receiver route. And it was just a go pattern, a streak pattern. And the amazing thing is, I mean, there's nobody else there. Jeremiah Martinez is on the coverage. Great throw by the quarterback. That should not happen on a 1 receiver route to get burned like that.
28-24, Southview's lead cut by 4 points. And the Bulldogs will be going for 2. Townsend to pass. He's chased in the backfield, looking for a receiver. Throws in the end zone, incomplete, no good. The intended receiver was Behringer, so the Southview lead continues by 4, 28-24 with 1:58 remaining in the third quarter. Crawford kicking off for the Bulldogs. Jeffrey Hughes, one of the deep receivers for the Southview Saints. The ball taken on the 25-yard line by Stephen Yates. Yates gets up close to the 33-yard line. Tackle made by Gerald Austin. It'll be Southview's ball, 1st and 10 from their own 30, well, they're spotting it on the 34-yard line.
I want to go back to the previous extra point plays that Toledo Scott's tried to put across. They're always showing double wideout. I'd show that bone and show them a misdirection. Nice job by Toledo Scott's kickoff team. They handled Southview's return.
Preston Beard, Jeremiah Martinez in the backfield for the Southview Saints. Strauser, the quarterback, looking to pass. Up the middle to big Will Torres. Torres to the 50. He's to the 40. He's to the 30. And he is dragged from behind by the Bulldogs. Terrence Rafus.
Okay, 1st and 10. Scott's got the momentum. What does Southview come out and do? Robert Strauser had 2 receivers to the top of the screen, one of them being the split end, 6'4" Will Torres. And the inside and outside receiver at the top of the screen did a kind of a pick route. The inside receiver picked for the outside receiver. Will Torres comes across the middle, ball's on a little bit inside the 20. Great play by Southview.
On the 21-yard line, 1st and 10 for the Saints, a 46-yard pass play from Strauser to Torres. Preston Beard with the ball. He's still on his feet, and he is finally rolled down on about the 1-yard line by Rockney Adams.
Another 1st and 10 play, just like Toledo Scott. They like to show their fullback. Preston Beard's in the fullback position here, and they simply run a trap with Joe Spahn making the trap and resulting touchdown. Great second effort by Preston Beard down by the goal line.
1st and goal for the Southview Saints. 4 opportunities to get that ball into the end zone. Hang on to it, fellas. And it goes to Beard. He's going to be stacked up on about the 4-yard line. Loss on the play. It'll be 2nd down. Tyler Morgan, a 250-pound sophomore, making the stop on Beard.
Well, I've got to backtrack myself. I thought Preston Beard was in there, but he was not. So they tried to give it to Preston on this play right here, and Tyler Morgan just did a great job on the dive play to Preston.
Ball on about the 4-yard line, 2nd and goal. Will Torres split wide to the right or to the left. Neely wide to the right. Thompson in motion. The give is to Martinez. He's trying to outrun the secondary, and he does on the far side into the end zone. Touchdown with 26 seconds remaining in the third quarter.
When I have coached, we always had key blocks on the offensive line, goal line offense, and the key block on that sweep to Jeremiah Martinez was Will Torres at the top of the screen. He buried the cornerback, and there was nobody for Martinez to run over because he ran to the corner. Great job, Will Torres and Jeremiah Martinez.
Brandon Neely holding. Crumley puts the foot to the ball, and it is good. And the Southview Saints now lead by 11 points, 35-24. Crumley kicking off for the Southview Saints. Ball taken on the 7-yard line by Willis Behringer. Behringer knocked out of bounds at about the 27-yard line. Making the stop for the Southview Saints, Willie Tillman. It'll be 1st and 10 for the Bulldogs from their own 27.
We just commented here between quarters. The team that gets the ball last may be the one who wins it, and the defensive coordinators are having nightmares and growing gray hairs because this is an offensive show.
Well, we got 20 seconds remaining in the third quarter. Townsend with the ball, pitches back to Behringer. Tackle made by James Thompson. Behringer gets the ball up to about the 30-yard line. Pickup of 3 yards on the play, 2nd down and 7.
I love the call because they break tendencies. Toledo Scott has shown the fullback, Sean Warren, on 1st and 10 plays throughout the game. This time, they show speed option to the top of the screen, which means there is no fake to the fullback, and they break tendencies.
And that's the end of the 3rd quarter of play with the Southview Saints on top by 11 points, 35-24. We'll be back with the 4th and final quarter right after this timeout for First Federal Savings of Lorain.
Since 1921, your hometown financial professionals at First Federal Savings of Lorain have dedicated themselves to meeting the financial needs of their customers and surrounding communities. They offer a wide variety of financial investments as well as home mortgages to meet your every need. Loans on cars, boats, mobile homes, and other worthwhile purchases are also available. Whatever your financial need, First Federal Savings of Lorain is ready to help. 6 convenient locations to serve you in Lorain, Huron, Sandusky, and Port Clinton, with a 7th office opening soon in Avon. First Federal Savings of Lorain is an equal housing lender and FDIC insured.
4th and final quarter here at George Daniels Stadium. Townsend with the ball. He's being chased in the backfield and hit for a big loss, making the tackle for the Southview Saints. Kyle Crumley, a 255-pound senior.
Okay, Toledo Scott, disastrous play, had a broken bone. They didn't have 3 in the backfield. They had 2 receivers at the top of the screen. Ian Townsend wanted to roll to the top of the screen. Kyle Crumley in the defensive line wouldn't give him any time, and a bad thing for a quarterback. He tried to make something happen. Scrambled, lost a lot of yardage. Good play.
Loss of about 11 yards. It's going to be 3rd down and 21. Townsend to pass. Over to the far side and intercepted. Intercepted on the 43-yard line, making the interception for the Saints, Stephen Yates. And Yates returns the ball close to the Bulldogs' 15-yard line. Making the stop on Yates, John Tall.
Okay, Toledo Scott comes out, maybe trying to make things happen because they're down by 11. 2 wideouts still in the bone. They tried to throw a one-man pattern to the top of the screen. Free safety, not strong safety. Free safety was Steve Yates. Nice interception. This could be the play that breaks Toledo Scott's back.
1st and 10 from the Bulldogs' 16-yard line. Strouser picks up the loose snap from center and advances the ball across the 15, picks up about 3 yards on the play. Kevin Ham making the stop for the Bulldogs. It'll be 2nd down and about 7.
There was an offset fullback right to the strong side of the formation. I believe they were going to hand the ball off Jeremiah Martinez, but Robert Strouser and the center have had trouble with the snaps. Ball was on the ground. Kevin Ham made the play.
Give this time to Martinez, to the 10, to the 5, and he's going to be dropped at about the 3-yard line, where it's going to be 1st and goal for the Southview Saints.
Nice play by Jeremiah Martinez, and he just came to the left side of the offensive line of Southview, and if he'd have bounced it out once he got past the line of scrimmage, he might have had a touchdown, but tried to split 2 defenders. Nice play, though.
Southview looking to increase that score. Preston Beard across the goal line. Touchdown.
Offset fullback left to the strength of the formation. The tight end was in the same side as the offset fullback. It was an isolation off tackle, and Preston Beard followed his fullback, and nice touchdown.
With 10 minutes, 10 seconds remaining, 10-10 in this ball game. It's Southview 41 and the Toledo Scott Bulldogs 24. Crumley will be attempting the point after with Brandon Neely holding. Ball is down, booted in the air, and it is good. Now with 10:10 remaining, it's 42-24. Southview's lead increased by 18 points. To kick off for the Southview Saints. Good long high kick. Taken and dropped. Finally picked up on about the 2-yard line by the Bulldogs' Willis Behringer. And Behringer finally brought down just over the 10-yard line. The Southview Saints putting the Bulldogs deep in their own territory. 1st and 10 for Toledo Scott from their own 11.
The reason why Toledo Scott is just beyond the 11 or 10-yard line is that Willis Behringer tried to catch the kickoff like an outfielder in center field. You cannot put your hands above your head and try to catch that ball because it will bounce right out. You've got to cradle it into your stomach. And that's just something you can't be a baseball player when you're on a kickoff return.
New quarterback in the ball game for the Bulldogs, and it is Donnie Ramsey, and a flag on the play.
Tackle by number 30.
Tackle made by Southview's Josh Gregoric.
As we get ready for the flag here, there was trips to the top of the screen. You would certainly think, and there's a penalty against Toledo Scott, that they're going to throw the ball to the trips. But what does Toledo Scott do with a new quarterback? They do a speed option to the trips, and meaning that the quarterback went down the line of scrimmage and pitched it to the only remaining back in the backfield besides the quarterback. And it was a nice play, except Toledo Scott had a penalty at the end.
First and 10 for the Bulldogs. They bring the ball back to the original line of scrimmage, so whatever that's supposed to mean.
I don't know.
Donnie Ramsey, a 135-pound junior, the quarterback now for the Bulldogs. And the give is to the fullback, Sean Warren.
Okay, Toledo Scott returns to form. They show trips out here. New quarterback, maybe they don't want to throw the ball, but they, true to character, they show the ball to Sean Warren. And he is a tough runner, a 240-pound fullback, and tough kid to bring down.
Pickup of 9 yards on the play, 2nd down and 1. Gerald Austin in motion. The give is again to Sean Warren, who picks up the first down for the Bulldogs, gets the ball up to their own 25-yard line, where it's going to be 1st and 10.
Okay, Scott breaks their bone, takes one of their halfbacks and puts him to a 2-receiver side at the bottom of the screen. The other halfback in the bone goes in motion to trips, but they keep it very simplistic because they wanted that first down. They gave it to the fullback, and it's a 1st and 10 play. If you notice, the defensive end from Southview put the quarterback on his back end because he came out and showed option.
Ramsey back to pass, looks for a receiver, throws downfield near side, and it's out of the reach of the intended receiver, Nate Washington, covering on the play for the Southview Saints, Brandon Neely, who went up for the ball.
I'm going to tell you, a no-no in passing. You never want two offensive receivers in the same zone. Toledo Scott had trips down to Southview sideline. Quarterback 3-step, he threw it as far as he could, doesn't have a strong arm. But two receivers were in the same area, and Brandon Neely nearly had an interception.
On the incomplete pass, 2nd down and 10 now for the Bulldogs on their own 25-yard line. Clock is stopped with 8 minutes, 30 seconds remaining in the ball game. Ramsey hands off this time to Steve Lewis. Lewis picks up a first down and then some for the Bulldogs. Pushed out of bounds on the far side by Jeremiah Martinez. The ball will be spotted just inside the 40-yard line.
Well, you would think that Southview would be aware of this, the fact that this quarterback probably doesn't have that good of an arm, so if you've got a one-back set, that limits what they can do, and what they did was they showed a draw to the speedster, Lewis, and he gets a first down. Southview should have been more aware of that one-back set.
DeJuan Witcher, the wide receiver, alternating with Nate Washington, split wide to the right. In motion is Sean Warren, and the give is to Steve Lewis. Lewis again gets up close to a first down.
Gain of 8 on the play, defending for the Saints.
Pickup of 8 yards on the play. The ball will be spotted on the 48. James Townsend making the tackle. It'll be 2nd down and 2.
Everything that Scott has done in this series with the new quarterback has ended up in 3 receivers to one side of the field. And as in the previous play, they ran it to Steve Lewis, and this kid picks up 8 yards on a draw again. What a burner.
Lewis is split wide to the right, as is Nate Washington. Ramsey looking to pass, and he hits at the Southview 45-yard line.
Incomplete pass for the Bulldogs, defending for the Saints.
Okay, I've just got done saying that Donnie Ramsey, the number 2 quarterback, doesn't have that good of an arm, and did he show me something on this throw? Trips to the bottom of the screen, fullback goes to a flare in the top of the screen, ends up with nobody in the backfield at the snap. The quarterback, Donnie Ramsey, rolls a little bit to the right and throws to Steve Lewis. Oh, Steve Behringer?
Willis Behringer.
Okay, and it was a nice curl pattern. What a rocket. Well thrown
Apparently
ball.
He trapped the ball on the ground because
he
they
didn't give
called
it to
it
him?
incomplete, and it's now 3rd down and 2. And Lewis in motion. And we have a Southview Saint crossing the...
Nice way to get a first down.
James Hamilton.
3rd and a couple. They walk off 5. You get a first down.
Offside against the Southview Saints, and that will give the Bulldogs an automatic 5 and a first down.
I don't think they'll complain.
They're now in Southview territory on the 47-yard line. 1st and 10. 7 minutes, 33 seconds remaining in the ball game with Southview on top, 42-24. Leading by 18. Ramsey back to pass. Up the middle. And in and out of the arms of his intended receiver, Kelvin Chet. Stephen Yates covering on the play for the Southview Saints.
Trips to the bottom of the field. Southview should have an interception. The Toledo Scott quarterback, Donnie Ramsey, he threw into double coverage in the middle of the field. Steve Yates, as he is right now, is a free safety. He should have that interception, and Southview should have the ball. Toledo Scott got away with one.
On the incomplete pass, 2nd down and 10. Ramsey back to pass again. Over to the near side. The intended receiver, Steve Lewis, well out of his reach. On the incomplete pass, 3rd and 10.
Hey, Ronnie, my son's playing flag football, and the one thing I'm trying to tell him, if he was to do a rollout right like the Toledo Scott quarterback did to the trips down here to the bottom of the screen, that when you're going to throw the ball, you have to have your shoulders square to the line. You can't roll out right, run to the sideline, throw across your body. That's what Toledo Scott did.
3rd and 10. Ramsey's pass over on the far side, in and out of the hands of DeJuan Witcher.
Oh, boy.
Covering in on the play for the Southview Saints, Jeremiah Martinez, along with Stephen Yates.
I thought that Jeremiah Martinez, the cornerback from Southview at the top of the screen, was beaten on the play. 3 receivers down at the bottom, 1 receiver at the top of the screen. They threw a go pattern to the top man. Jeremiah Martinez knocked it away at the last second.
4th down and 10 yards to go, and the Bulldogs are going for it. And we've got a flag.
I don't think Southview was offsides. I think they're saying that procedure was by Toledo Scott.
And that's exactly what the call is by the head official. 5 yards being marched off against the Toledo Bulldogs, and that brings the ball back into their own 48-yard line. 4th and 15. John, you mentioned trips quite a bit. To the average viewer out there, just exactly what are we talking about when you say trips?
Real simple. Take a look right now. 3 receivers outside the tackle to the same side.
So that the novice out there isn't thinking in terms of somebody got tripped.
No.
Okay, a long pass, and oh my goodness! DeJuan Witcher slipped on the grass, fell down to the ground, and the ball went right into his hands. You talk about a beautiful break for the Bulldogs. They've got it 1st and 10 on the Southview 25-yard line.
We had trips to the bottom of the screen like we talked about before. 3-step drop, the quarterback throws to the lone receiver at the top of the screen. Jeremiah Martinez was lulled to sleep. I don't even think he knew that the ball was coming there.
On a 4th and 15, we now have a 1st and 10 for the Bulldogs. Ramsey looking to pass. Again to DeJuan Witcher, and Witcher out of bounds at about the 5-yard line. It's going to be 1st and goal for the Bulldogs with 6:45 remaining in the ball game.
All right, we've got trips to the bottom of the screen. We've got the single receiver to the top. The quarterback did a 3-step drop. The receiver at the top of the screen did a hitch pattern. What I mean by a hitch is a couple yards up, stop, and then he beat Jeremiah Martinez. I think they found something over here with the lone receiver, the single receiver.
Donnie Ramsey, the quarterback, moving his team down the field, and the give is to Steve Lewis. He extends himself, puts that ball over the goal line, and the Bulldogs pick up 6 more points. It's now 42-32.
Somebody's down for Toledo Scott. Hopefully it's not serious. The Toledo Scott Bulldogs showed the bone, and I think instead of having 2 wideouts, I think they kept everybody intact except for the one receiver. They gave it to Steve Lewis, and what great second effort. He wasn't going to be denied this touchdown on this off-tackle play from the left halfback position.
Willis Behringer, the player shaken up by the Bulldogs, he's able to run off on his own power. Always a good sign to see that. Bad sign to see someone get
and we've always been happy when they get up.
But when they can come off on their own. Bulldogs going for the 2 extra points. And the give right up the middle is no good. Trying to pick up the 2 extra points as we try to see who's who for the Bulldogs. The
quarterback kept it, Ron. The reason why you're having a hard time.
Donnie Ramsey kept the ball.
And
on the onside kick, Toledo Scott attempting to get that ball back, did not accomplish that feat. And the Southview Saints will now take over 1st and 10 from their own 42-yard line.
Describe what Toledo Scott just did.
They were kind of like in a huddle.
How about a scrum?
A who?
A scrum. We're going back to some other sport.
Don't be... Oh.
And on this play, they did not line up and try to confuse Southview and kicked it from a huddle or the scrum and didn't get it done.
Well, for the less knowledgeable like myself, what exact sport are you talking about when you say scrum?
Give me a couple minutes and I'll give you the sport.
The ball carrier for the Southview Saints, the freshman Jeffrey Hughes.
And I'm going to do it for you. I think a scrum is in Australian football, where they all huddle up. And Admiral King, when I coached a couple years ago, we did that on a kickoff return. I have never seen it done on a kickoff.
Pickup of 2 yards by Hughes. 2nd down and 8 for the Southview Saints. The ball on their own 44-yard line. And a loose ball. It looks like the Saints were able to recover.
Offset fullback, true tailback, and Jeremiah Martinez. The fullback, Preston Beard, was behind the strength of formation, and they had a trap with Kyle Crumley. The one suggestion that I would make to Preston, he is a big man at 220 pounds, is that he shouldn't run so high because he's taking shots on that ball. The ball was on the ground, and man, with 5 minutes left, you don't want to give Toledo Scott another opportunity with the football.
Gain of about a foot on the play. 3rd down and 8. Big play now for the Southview Saints. Strouser with the ball. Being chased in the backfield. Lets loose. The intended receiver, James Thompson, no good. Incomplete pass. It'll be 4th and 8. And no doubt a punting situation for the Saints.
Boy, a free safety's delight with number 2, Terrence Rafus. There was a bootleg down to the bottom of the screen with Robert Strouser rolling out that way. James Thompson from the top of the screen did a drag pattern across. Ball was high. Safety was hitting James Hamilton low. And boy, you don't want to put a receiver in that situation.
And the officials are indicating a timeout for Southview, and a chance for me to remind you that the Palace Civic Center is going to have some real exciting events coming up in October. Saturday, October 2nd, the Ohio Governor's Cup Bodybuilding Championship, the pre-judging at 3:30 p.m. with the Governor's Cup at 7 p.m. So those of you that are into big-time weightlifting and bodybuilding, it's all coming to the Palace Theater on Saturday, October 2nd. And then the following weekend, October 8th, 9th, and 10th, the movie is Austin Powers, rated PG-13, showtime all 3 nights, 7 p.m., with the admission only $1.50. And that's at the Palace Civic Center, 6th and Broadway in downtown Lorain. On the 4th down play, it's going to be Crumley punting from his own 30, and a flag.
Now Southview's clapping. I'm wondering if Toledo Scott looks like they wanted to block the punt, lined up in the neutral zone. And that's not the call.
Well, to be honest with you, totally unaware of what the signs are. 2 hands behind the head, whatever that means. But anyway, 5 yards marched off against the Bulldogs. Still has the Southview Saints with a 4th and 2 this time from the mid-stripe, the 50-yard line. Timeout called out by the Bulldogs. Got the answer during the timeout. The penalty against the Bulldogs, too many men on the field. That's what 2 hands behind the head means. And the punt by Crumley, and a flag, roughing the kicker, no doubt, as the ball rolls dead on the 15-yard line and will be down. But this may be a big break for the Southview Saints.
Absolutely. Now, the previous play, the reason why the flag, like you alluded to, Ron, is that too many men were on the field. So Toledo Scott's wanting to block the punt. The coaching point on blocking a punt is that you've got to get like 2 steps in front of the punter, let him take his natural progression of the ball and block the ball. There was no way that the Toledo Scott player did that. He went right into the punter, and he didn't get ball. So therefore, it is a flag and a critical mistake for Toledo Scott.
And that's going to give the ball back to the Southview Saints with a 1st and 10 as
Absolutely.
the official now marches off 15 yards. And that will put the ball into Bulldog territory at about the 34-yard line.
And if the Scott defender had taken the proper course, he might have gotten the block anyways. That's what's so critical about it.
4 minutes and 41 seconds remaining in the ball game. 42-30 is our score. I had indicated earlier 42-32, but my mistake. 42-30, Southview leading by 12. Strouser hands off to Jeffrey Hughes, his freshman tailback.
We've heard about Jeffrey Hughes from up here in the press box. The reason why they're giving a look at him, he's a freshman. He's scored in 1 freshman game 5 touchdowns, in 1 JV game 3 touchdowns. So if you've had 8 touchdowns in 2 games, I guess in the 4th quarter with a big lead, you're going to give him a look.
Why not?
Why not?
Give him not only a look, but the experience.
And the ball.
And the give this time is to Brandon Neely. Correction on that, Preston Beard. A tackle made by Kevin Ham.
Okay, what Admiral King, what Southview likes to run, they like to show Preston Beard on the trap. The previous play, when Jeff Hughes carried the ball on the isolation, Preston Beard had an outstanding isolation block on the linebacker. Probably his best one of the night.
3rd down for the Southview Saints, and about a yard to go for that first. And the give is to Preston Beard. He's got the first down, still on his feet, and finally dragged down at about the 15-yard line, make it the 16 where the official on the near side is standing. First and 10, 3:25 remaining in the ball game.
I'll tell you how interesting a runner Preston Beard is. Last year, he was one of the quarterbacks for Southview. Now with Robert Strouser coming back off an injury, he plays tailback, he is a motion back, he is a fullback, split back, he does it all.
Strouser's handoff, this time to James Hamilton. No gain on the play, or very little. In fact, possible loss of about a yard. It'll be second down and 11.
This was the Preston Beard play, except it was James Hamilton carrying the ball. Southview on first and 10 showed trap with Kyle Crumley doing the trapping. Good job defensively, Toledo Scott.
Strouser attempting to pass, and he is brought down in the backfield for a big loss on the play by B.J. Gordon.
We have mentioned B.J. Gordon before, and he's supposed to be a good linebacker. I don't know why he didn't start, but he's made some plays.
Third down and about 17 for the Southview Saints. Coming into this ball game, statistically, the Southview Saints have rushed for 442 yards, passed for 368, total offense of 810 yards. And they'll have quite a bit to add to that after tonight's ball game. Carrying the ball for the Saints, Jeremiah Martinez gets the ball up to about the 16-yard line.
Good save call when you've got the score 42-30. You've got split backs. You don't want to put the ball in the air. So Robert Strouser did a three-step drop and gave a draw look to Jeremiah Martinez, and that's what you want to do. Now, interesting situation here. Southview's going for the field goal.
34-yard field goal. Crumley will be kicking from his 25. It's up, and it is good.
Man,
what a beautiful job by the kicker, Brett Crumley. He has been doing an outstanding job all night.
And plenty of leg left over after the goes over the bar.
With 1 minute and 53 seconds remaining in the ball game, the Southview Saints on top by 15, 45-30. We watched the Southview Saints on the kickoff. We indicated about their offense coming into this ball game, a total of 810 yards. They have scored 81 points coming into this game for an average of 27, given up 48 points for an average of 16. So far tonight, they have far exceeded their average with 45. And of course have given up the 30 points to the Bulldogs. Bulldogs will now take over first and 10 from their own 31-yard line with 1 minute 45 seconds remaining.
Bulldogs on the 31-yard line.
Donnie Ramsey still in at quarterback for the Bulldogs. Ramsey back to pass, looking for his receiver. The big number 31, got it, DeJuan Witcher. Tackle made by James Thompson. That'll give the Bulldogs a first down and stops the clock. First and 10 on the 44.
True to form, trips down to the bottom of the screen. Single receiver, Donnie Ramsey throws to the top of the receiver. Wonderful catch on a one-man pattern top of the screen.
Clock is running with 1 minute and 30 seconds remaining in the ball game. Ramsey back to pass again. Over to the far side. It is Witcher in and out of his hands. Covering on the play for the Saints, Brandon Neely. On the incomplete pass, second down and 10.
Same situation as the previous play. Trips to the bottom of the screen, single receiver to the top, and Donnie Ramsey's going to the top of the screen. Better defensive coverage this time by the cornerback from Southview.
Ramsey again to pass, coming over to the near side and almost intercepted the intended receiver, Nate Washington. Covering for the Southview Saints, Jeremy Leyva. Leyva, by the way, was the only person who scored points for the Southview Saints in that game last week against Warrensville Heights. He got the lone TD on a pass play with 3:27 left in the first half. And at that point, as we indicated earlier tonight, Southview led Warrensville by a 7-6 score. And that was as many points as Southview was to get, just the 7 points. On the 3rd and 10, the give this time is to Gerald Austin. Austin into Southview territory, picking up a first down. The clock is stopped with 1 minute and 10 seconds, and the Bulldogs will have the ball on the Southview 41-yard line. Tackle made for the Southview Saints by Willie Tillman. Ramsey again to pass. Over to the far side, Nate Washington, he's got it.
That's unbelievable. That a one-man pattern at the top of the screen. At the screen, the biggest thing the DB's got to do is go up at the same time with the receiver with the height of the ball being up there. The receiver went for the ball. The defender was flat-footed. Must work on his technique.
Ball spotted on the 15-yard line. 1st and 10 for the Bulldogs. Clock continues to run with 45 seconds. Ramsey to pass and a whistle. Intercepted. The intended receiver for the Bulldogs, Willis Behringer, but there is a whistle on the play. Illegal procedure is the call against the Bulldogs. That'll bring the ball back to about the 21-yard line, where it's going to be 1st and 15, 42.5 seconds remaining in the ball game.
What Scott was trying to do, 3 receivers to bottom the screen, they were going to try to pop it to the receiver that was in the slot position right next to the right tackle and throw it in front of the free safety. If the play had been allowed to stand, it was an intercepted pass by the free safety.
Ramsey back to pass again, over to the far side. The intended receiver, DeJuan Witcher, incomplete pass. It'll be 2nd down and 15. From the 21, 2nd and 15 for the Bulldogs. Ramsey hands the ball off to Steve Lewis. Lewis is not going to go as far as he normally does when he gets the ball to run. In fact, he may have lost about a yard on the play, making the tackle for the Saints, Josh Gregoric. Was called on the field because of an injured Bulldog, Shamar Baldwin, the left guard. A big 260-pound junior had to be helped off the field. Ramsey on the 3rd down, passes and connects with DeJuan Witcher. But it will not be enough for the 1st down, and that will put the Bulldogs with a final opportunity to either get in the end zone or pick up a 1st down, as it's now 4th and about 12. The ball on the 18-yard line. Ramsey to pass. And incomplete. The intended receiver again, DeJuan Witcher, and that's the end of the ball game with the Southview Saints on top by 15, 45-30. Well, John, a big win for the Southview Saints and kind of retribution for their loss at Toledo Scott last year. Now the Southview Saints with a 3-1 record. Comments?
Okay, real quickly, a lot of talent on Southview side. Keep focused the entire ball game. It's too bad Toledo Scott came in here and scored 30 points and still lost. We saw a lot of athletes on both sides. Southview had to do what they had to do, and it was a very entertaining game with 75 points scored.
On the last Friday in September, the Admiral King Admirals will be going to East Lake North. The Southview Saints will be going to Madison. Both teams traveling east. George Daniel Stadium will be without a game next weekend, so you won't see us until 2 weekends from now when the Southview Saints come back here against the Vermilion Sailors. Until then, for my partner John Nesbitt, our cameraman, producer, director Bob Quinlan, I'm Ron Baccalar.